a AD server. So let's go to this one and see. Did we set any like hosts information up? I don't think so. It's just the IP we used. This was the administrator login, so let's use that again. And we don't even have to type, right? Yeah. Is this correct? I think I need, because it can't handle the backslash otherwise, right? So we should actually, since I'll probably reuse this later, there, and we have a new IP. Oh, nice, a short one, 1713. Maybe that's because not many people are online at this hour, because my old one was much longer. So, do you think it's better to use this or to use this? The saving stuff is not useful, but I think that there are these stretch buttons.
I prefer Remina.
You do, yeah. So what if we would plus this and we would just copy the information from here then? Oh, yeah, that's a way to stop it too. I Control-C it. So, well, this time it helped. Usually it doesn't help to do that. So, can't remember in Shift. Maybe I should just have a habit to actually use the UE way to copy stuff. Because sometimes, you know. Oh, right, it is there's a domain field. So if we save and connect this one, it will be in the list, right? Yeah. And it's tiny, but we had
My learning
things.
is going very slow today.
Okay. So what are you studying? You have bad days and you have good days, right? And you shouldn't study too much, because then your brain will just go not working, you know.
Today it's art.
So it's AD that we're doing too, but
I don't
very
enjoy
basic. Okay. I guess it's kinda depends what you going to do with it. I think that if I resize the window to fit in remote resolution, and this is toggle full screen mode, and this is, let's see, come on, toggle dynamic resolution update. I think this is what I meant, that it will use this as a resolution. Nice. Because then we don't have to have everything tiny. Though the 80 stuff will still look like it's from 93, maybe? This looks like a Windows 3.1 program, you know? I did the comparison the other day with Windows XP's device manager and this computer's, that is Windows 10, the device manager, and they're identical, you know, because it's the same stuff. So now we made some changes here last time. We'll see if we have to make them or if we can continue where we were without making changes.
I think the ad browser is now over 20 years old.
Definitely, because I worked with exactly this at least 2000. Yeah. So, these were just some questions, and then we. So this is like a repetition from long ago for me. Yeah, they wanted us to do different things. Managing users. And we logged also in, this is Philip.
This window got polished about 12 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, I think last time we did okay.
It's all mixed with Office and different plugins. Jungle.
It's all mixed with Office and different. Oh, that voice is kind of hard to hear. If you wouldn't mind to choose an English one, but I know it could be fun too. So I'll look at the text, which is what I'm doing now. So let's turn on the advanced features there. Okay. There's a checkbox. Yeah, I don't mind the voice. It's just that it's sometimes it pronounces things in a way that's not really easy to understand. I'm just going to switch back and forth there a bit. So since I was actually rereading these and checking what did we do last time, let's look at this. There's a check in the TTS if I want you to be forced to use English voices, and I haven't turned it on.
How many Germans does it take to change a light bulb?
Well, one, I hope. So, it wasn't meant sauce. There's
Germans
usually
are very
lots of
efficient
sauce.
and have no sense of humor.
Okay. So I guessed, but by being kind, I guessed right. Okay. I'm just going to send a message here. It was just from work. Okay, so let's continue. We were asked to make it look like this, and it's just to practice, of course. And then we had this to log into, and we, since he can't open the graphical interface, we used this instead. And I did add it to my notes, even if it feels like obvious. Oh, so I have it over there. So, my Obsidian notes. Oh, that's opacity. Let's go down to 80 notes. Where have I got it? Windows, yeah, 80. So we started here to add these. This is what we did here. This is one of the commands, and here's the other one. And that's just to set a password for a user and to set that they have to force them to change password at logon. So let's continue and see if we need to redo those changes that we did before. I'm hoping not to. I don't think so. It seemed like it was ended with setting that user's new password and logging in as her and looking at the file on her desktop. Managing computers in AD. By default, all the machines that join a domain, except for the DCs, will be put in a container called computers. If we check our DC, we will see that we have some devices that some devices are already there. So if we look in computers, we have a few devices there. I imagine we're supposed to add something then, since they said all already there. We can see some servers, some laptops, and some PCs corresponding to the users in our network. Having all of our devices there is not the best idea. And I'm thinking about sending a message because of the blip, so I'm going to do that first so I can focus. Okay. I got an SMS from a random address to click a link, but what I was going to send a message to was something else. I just noticed that now, so I'm just going to tell him. I'm going to check when someone is going to go to my kid because he's sleeping, so he doesn't have to go if it's not going to be possible to wake him up. There. So, we still use SMS. That's amazing, right? Sometimes. To some people. Yeah, we can see some servers, some laptops, and some PCs corresponding to users in the network. Oh, they name them LBT PC and SRE. Not a tiny network and tiny company. Wrong screen there. Having all our devices there is not the best idea, since it's very likely that you want different policies for your servers and the machines that regular users use on a daily basis. While there are no golden rule how to organize your machines, an excellent starting point is segregating devices according to the use. In general, you'd expect to see devices divided into at least the three following categories. Workstations. Workstations are one of the most common devices within an Active Directory domain. Each user in the domain will likely be logging into a workstation. This is the device they will use to do their work and normal browsing activities. These devices should never have a privileged user assigned into them. Okay? Servers. Servers are the second most common device within an Active Directory domain. Servers are generally used to provide services to users or other servers. Domain controllers. Domain controllers are the third most common device within an Active Directory domain. Domain controllers allow you to manage the Active Directory domain. These devices are often deemed the most sensitive devices within the network, as they contain hashed passwords for all user accounts within the environment. Since we are tidying up our ID, let's create two separate OUs for workstations and servers. Domain controllers are already in an OU created by Windows. We will be creating them directly.
Everybody loves AD.
We will be creating them directly under the tshame.local domain container. In the end, you should have the following structure. Yeah, so not in computers, but making two new ones. So, yeah, everybody loves it. But it's kind of nice, you know? It's kind of nice. Before AD, it was... well, Novell Network, probably. Maybe Unix servers. Yummy. So, right here, I just said he'd send a message when he was. So we'll see. New. My God, it's a long time since I did this.
Simpler times, but there was also more trust, less paranoia, more competent users, better food, birds singing in the trees, love letters on paper with a lipstick kiss on the envelope.
There's one thing I don't agree with, and that's more competent users. Never more competent users. But more kisses on envelopes. My mom actually said, okay. I sent a letter to someone yesterday. I was like, okay, you wrote with your hand on paper.
But very good hamburgers.
Put it into an envelope and went to the post box and put the letter in the box. I'm like, oh, wow. Oh, that's cool. You can do that? You can do that? So, what should we call this one? Workstations. No, but it's, you know, what you're used to. I guess I've done that. I used to have, like, pen pals when I was little. But still. It feels so ancient and... Didn't we stop doing that kind of thing? But when people are getting older, they want to use this still. She has a computer, you know, but maybe she doesn't have the person's email address, of course. Hmm. So we added these workstation and servers. I assume. Yeah, move personal computers and laptops to these. That's what we're supposed to do. So. Alright.
Pen pals, yes. I had a pen pal in America. And sometimes I translated letters from America for my German neighbor. And he would give me 2 Deutschmarks and I would buy ice cream.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, you're on the right screen now. Let's see, we should probably be able to select all of these, right? There. And the servers. There. So. After organizing the available computers, how many ended up in the workstations? Let's look. We have 7. And that's the answer to the question here. 7. We got a 5-day streak. I've been all week now. Is it recommendable to create separate OUs for... Okay, the level of this. Yay! Group policies. I used to do lots of scripts. GPU scripts.
Sec guy says, "What box is this?"
This is the learning path and complete beginner. I wanted to finish this really, but I got kind of stuck on the upload vaults one, which
Wow,
all of the rooms after this, they are very, very simple. But I want to do it, you know. So we're doing very simple AD things.
Gun Voidwalker says,
We love art so much.
Yeah, we love AD, but we were just talking about Novell Netware was kind of not better. And looking better at posting envelope with lipstick on them. And I have the best Thai food.
Everything was good.
Lunch. First time you see me
Even
eating
ramen.
anything else than...
Sec guy says,
Fix it, are you transitioning from dev to pen testing?
More like from IT specialist. But it was a few years ago. But I've also been, programming since I was tiny. So. But I've never really, done much with it. A bit of everything. So, let's continue reading without lots of food in my mouth. So, Sekka, is this your, what have you been doing before? Is this your only target? Is this what you've been doing all the time? Or have you also done something else before?
And what about hardware, just curious to know, D?
I don't know if you saw, but I have some hardware. Did you see the robot arm? I think so, right? We built a robot arm on stream, a kit, so we're going to program it too, of course. But right now I want to focus on my studies, really, because you can't study all the time, but right now I want to, so... let's read, but please talk and ask more. I can just quickly. We got some. My God, my reading. Here's the Digisparks, and one of them, if you put it into my computer, it will connect to my machine and get a reverse shell downloaded and stuff. So, but you have to turn off Defender for this one to work. So, but you can play with stuff. I would like to build things myself. I have chips for that exact processor that's on there, and I have bigger ones too, and I have PICs, and I have, Atmegas. That's 80 tiny on that one. So, and also, I have pop-up Microchip Studio. Used to be Atmos Studio, but now it's Microchip. So far, we have organized users and computers in OUs, just for the sake of it. But the main idea behind this is to be able to deploy different policies for each OU individually. That way we can push different configurations and security baselines to users depending on their department. Windows manages such policies through Group Policy Object, GPOs. GPOs are simply a collection of settings that can be applied to OUs. GPOs can contain policies aimed at either users or computers.
Me? I have studied IKI and worked as CCTV and automation engineer. Then due to personal reason I came to home and now trying my luck in InfoSec.
Oh, okay. I don't know what ECE is. But I could Google it, or you can tell me. And I think you told me of CCTV before, right? Yeah, so it's kind of a similar reason to find InfoSec as I do, that
Electronics
I need
and
to
comm
be
engineer.
Cool. So I need to be available for my kids more than I am if I'm just gone 8 hours a day, or with travel, at least 9 hours. We need a lunch too, so 10 hours for travel. 10 hours a day just gone from kids being home and needing help with stuff. Doesn't really work, so I'm looking for something that I kind of slipped in on a banana peel into this, because I was really I started looking at these scam baiters and stuff, and then I was like, oh well, okay, you have to have a secure VM to do that. I'll look at the security stuff a bit, and then I was like, I like this. And then I totally forgot about the other thing. But when I created this channel, that was actually the intention from the start. We'll see if we ever do that. Now my normal name is totally connected to this
same
anyway.
here. This 2019-22 COVID changed everyone's lives.
Yeah. Definitely. And definitely changed mine a lot, since one of my kids started to have lots of problems to even touch things, and he's got autism, and it kind of, I don't take risks. That's his main rule in life. So, but it's not all logical, He's got to put limitations for himself. But he doesn't want to touch anything, so he can't make even a sandwich. He used to be able to do sandwiches, and he's done yogurt now, though. So hopefully he'll start being able to do more things himself again. He's very smart, and but those limitations, and also going to bed.
Smile.
Yeah. Let's continue. Where were we? Contain searches. Yeah. Policies. Use the baseline on specific machines and identities. To configure GPOs, you can use the Group Policy Management tool available from the Start menu. And they've been very nice to us and put the shortcuts down here.
Gun Voidwalker says.
Patience goes a long way.
Yes. So I'll have to keep an eye on time too. Because I have to see if I can wake him up in a bit, because someone is coming to play some games with him. He doesn't go to school or anything. My other kid goes a tiny bit to school. He's got some problems too. The first thing you will see when you open it is your complete OU hierarchy as defined before. To configure group policies, you first create a GPO under group policy objects, and then link it to the OU where you want the policies to apply. As an examples, you can see there are some already. Let's just, you're not seeing what I'm seeing. I opened it on the other screen. I should switch back and forth more, I know. As an example, you can see there are already existing GPOs in your machine. So if we look at this here, maybe I would really like this to get bigger, you know, have a size up of this. I don't think we can do that, right? Can we? We can only delete. Yeah. Customize. Yeah. I don't think we can, but I just want to check. I did look at options, did I? These are so, you know, this has been available forever, as we talked about, and still we can't change the size of the text in an easy way. Oh well, let's look. It points to default domain policy. You've selected the link. Except for change to link properties. Changes you make. So we get this all the time. Okay, they're just saying that know that this is linked to places and it will affect stuff. If we change it, it would probably be because we want it to affect stuff, you know? Oh well, not very much. So it had two, or okay, it's upside down. So 1, GPUs are created here, it says, and then it says 2, GPUs are linked to OUs. So these are the links. Damn, annoying throat today. We can see, alright. We can see the image above. The 3 GPOs have been created. From those, the default domain policy and RDP policy are linked to the THM local domain as a whole. And the domain default controller policy is linked to the domain controllers OU only. Let's examine the default domain policy to see what's inside a GPO. The first tab you'll see when selecting a GPO shows its scope, which is where the GPO is linked in the AD. For the current policy, we can see that it has only been linked to the thm.global domain. Maybe I should have 11 this so we have more space. There, so. Yeah, we looked at this too. Oh, sorry. I should eat some more, I guess. Good.
Sec guy says.
Sending message with. Mark shows in chat.
I think so. Oh. Catch you later, fix it. Slow internet. Okay. Yeah. You can check in the TTS to remove those messages, but I have not, so it's visible. But it also thought it was a comment, I think, and didn't read it. Because some characters it doesn't read, you know. So.
Here, so no voice, no disturbed tongue.
Yeah, you can also do like just dash. That's what I usually do. Like this test and then
Fix it says.
testing.
Test.
So if we look at the TTS, you can see that it says this is commented out.
Sec guy says.
Oh, gotcha.
Let's see what it said on this one. It's not in here because it thinks it's a command, so it doesn't even get sent to the TTS. The exclamation mark one. Yeah, and here you see another feature. Chat lev distance 100%. Since there was a message sent earlier, that's test.
Gun Voidwalker says.
Tilde test.
Yeah, so this is since if someone rates
nice,
and we
works.
get a lot of the same message, we don't want them all read, you know? So that's why. Yeah. So.
Tilde no, it does not.
It reads it. If that was what you wanted, then it works. If you didn't want it to read it, but I think you can use other characters to comment too. And I'm using another test for it not to be Levenstein. So now I did square as a comment character. Yeah, and that's also not read. So, but if you want me to see it, you should probably not comment it out, because I didn't read the Sekai's exclamation thing there.
Sec guy says.
Last test, sorry for nuisance. Hey, hello, don't announce this. Lol.
So, yeah.
Gun Voidwalker says.
Test traute test.
Yeah, it doesn't read it in the middle. You know, you might want to type things. It's just the first at the start of sentence. Or text.
Sec guy says.
Anyway, catch you later. Fix it. Smile, smile.
Thanks for dropping in. Have a great day. I'll probably be on for a bit today, I think. So, let's continue. Yeah, so if you want to send messages to other people in chat, but not to me, then you can do it like secretly like that, you know. But they might also just be listening to TTS. I do that a lot, so for people that use TTS.
Gun Voidwalker says.
Gun Voidwalker hello self.
So I have the setting set to read the messages that are ats too. So that's why that's there. What was read. Let's continue with the AD stuff now, right? As you can see, you can also supply security filtering. Okay, we had the security filtering to GPOs so that they are applied to they're only applied to specific users' computers under an OU. By default, they will apply they will apply to the authenticated users group.
I need a vacation.
And usually the TTS pauses when I speak. We should actually test one thing here, because right now I don't have the voice recognition on, so then it won't work. But when I start this, we should get another text here. TTS enabled, so when I speak, it should mute itself. What we can do is to try if it's different if we switch to this one. Yeah, I'm just doing this on the screen. There. It's just clicking that, so it wasn't anything more. So we start this. Alright, stop.
Connected.
It needs to have the name. And let's start it.
Connected to channel Fixit 42.
And I think I have other settings here. No, it's the default settings. Alright, speak emotes. Here's the one with exclamation mark. So, yes, you can see that's what I use for the bots messages, not to be spoken. These informational ones. Maybe I should switch to the number sign. Now I'm just thinking about languages here. Start voice recognition. Let's see if this one works better. It might also be the permissions. Now we got the mic symbol here. That it uses the microphone, but it's still TTS enabled there. It doesn't say like you're talking, so I'm muting myself. Pause TTS. Let's just try one thing before we could switch back to the other one. So if I type something here as myself here, there.
Fixit says.
And if I
Test.
TTS ban and type another message. Now it's been, you can say test
Testing.
again. You see, it doesn't work either, and I made sure to give it all permissions. So, let's go back to this one. And start voice
Connected to
recognition.
channel Fixit 42.
So, now I can do test again.
Fixit says.
Test.
So, and I'm kind of sure this doesn't work, right?
Testing.
Yeah, I'm not TTS banned. So, just a quick test there to see if the TTS has been updated. So let's go back to these studies. Oh, as you can see, security filtering. Yeah, we read that. The security. Let's also look at the same thing here. So this poor machine doesn't fall asleep. Here we have the tshm.local. That's where it is here. And then we have authenticated users here. And we have details. Unique ID. We have settings. With all the settings. Let's go back to the text. I assume that there will be more here too. The settings tab. Oh, it's called settings, yeah. The settings tab includes the actual contents of the GPU and lets us know what specific configurations it applies. As stated before, each GPU has configurations that apply to computers only and configurations that apply to users only. In this case, the default main policy only contains computer configurations. So, feel free to explore the GPU and expand the available items using the show links on the right side of each configuration. In this case, the default domain policy indicates really basic configurations and should apply to most domains, including password and account lockout policies. Since the GPU applies to the whole domain, any change to it would affect all computers. Let's change the minimum password length to require users to have at least 10 characters in their passwords. To do this, click the GPU and edit. So let's go back and look around a bit first, because it was some time since I did this. This will just be horrible, right? To have it bigger, because it's still minimal text. Could we stretch it instead, somehow? I'm just thinking view only. No. Tools. No. I mean, I wonder if you can set the I would like to tell this that we are a tiny monitor, so but we want a big window, you know? So it would scale it up. It should be possible, right? However, let's just continue. Just look at these. Dynamic resolution. So this is just... Okay, so it doesn't matter since I'm not changing the size. Toggle scaled mode. Okay. Maybe it is here. So if we make this one tinier, there, like this, now it's scaled. So now we toggle it to this, and we toggle it back, and then we make it bigger. And we want this. So it works. There. Now we have it bigger by cheating it. So, because I know it's horrible when things are tiny on stream, you know. That's horrible. So, this is kind of big, but I mean, ugly big, not too big font size. I just have to a few more bites of food here. So let's see. We have general details, links, security filtering. So this is the same, as the first page. It was so long ago since I saw this, but I assume it's looking kind of the same. So, security settings for computers. Yeah, and I assume that they want to probably to change this, right? So, no user settings here. I remember making these policies. But mostly I use scripting, So let's see. And I was showing you the right screen. I was thinking, did I forget to show you? I didn't. It says the text on the other screen. Since the GPU applies to the whole domain, change minimum password length to 10 characters. Right click the default domain policy here. We're in the RDP one. So let's right click this one and edit. And while I'm reading, let's be on the side. This will open a new window where we can navigate and edit all the available configurations. To change the minimum password length, go to Computer Configuration Policies, Windows Settings, Security Setting, Account Policies, Password Policy, and change the required value. So let's do that. Policies, Windows settings. We could guess this, but we have the list. Oh my goodness. Security settings. Yeah, and we can expand this too. So let's make this bigger so we can actually see stuff. So, we are going to find the password policy too. So under account policies, we have password policy, and it's like the end of it. And the password length is currently 7, so let's increase it to 10 then. There. And I guess we go back and read on. As you can see, plenty of policies can be established in GPO. While explaining every single item would be impossible in a single room, do feel free to explore a bit. Some of the policies are straightforward. If more information on any of the policies is needed, you can double-click them and read the Explain tab on each of them. So let's do this for an example. Do we have anything that's store the password using reversible encryption? And explain this to us. Store passwords. The security setting determines whether the operating system stores password using reversible encryption. This policy provides support for applications that use protocols that require knowledge of their user's password for authentication purposes. Storing passwords using reversible encryption is essentially the same as storing plain text versions of the password. For this reason, this policy should never be enabled unless an application requirements outweigh the need to protect password information. Let's even have this. This policy is required when using challenge handshake authentication protocol. Authentication through remote access or internet authentication services. It is also required when using digest authentication in internet information services. Default disabled. Yeah. So let's go back to the right screen, the left screen, I mean. So GPU distribution. GPUs are distributed to the network via the network share called sysvol, which is stored in the DC. All users in the domain should typically have access to this
Goaku
share.
says.
Dick.
Translated from Dutch.
Hi, Goaku. Maybe I should remove the read
Hi.
emotes from the TTS. Hi.
Ohio.
Ohio. I'm eating the best Thai food here.
Fixerbot says. Time to move it, move it. 5 table push-ups redeemed.
Okay.
Goaku says.
There's Thai food in Sweden? Didn't know. No push-ups then.
Wouldn't there be Thai food in Sweden? Why? I can do the push-ups, but I think I'll wait. I'll save them for after eating. Okay. There's Thai food in Sweden. Okay, it's just 5, so. But I'm like going to push my face into the food. Should I eat while I do this? And my hair will probably go. I think I'm managing. Sheet push-ups. Oh, I thought that something was off. The wheels of the chair got stuck in the curtains. And I'm still a bit sweaty from hurrying from work. So where were we? I was reading. All users in the domain should typically have access to the share over the network to sync their GPUs periodically. The sysvol share points by default to the C Windows sysvol directory on each of the DCs in our network. Once a change has been made to any GPUs, it might take up to 2 hours for computers to catch up. If you want to force a particular computer to sync its GPUs immediately, you can always run the following command on the desired computer. So let's put this in the notes too, because I don't remember these. I have the good fortune that my kid doesn't like the veggies, so he only eats the chicken, and I get the double veggies. So I'm never gonna finish this in one day. In other words, not that I would if I didn't get his veggies though. So PowerShell admin, and now we're talking GPOs. This is user. Let's do 3. And let's keep all of it. Why didn't it do PowerShell? Or whatever. Creating some GPOs for THM Inc. As part of our new job, we've been tasked with implementing some GPOs to allow us to block non-IT users from accessing the control panel. Make workstations and servers lock their screen off automatically after 5 minutes of user inactivity to avoid people leaving their sessions exposed. People would get so annoyed. Let's focus on each of those and define what policies we should enable. I'm just seeing people. We should enable in each GPO and where they should be linked. I mean, 5 minutes, that's like you turning and say 2 words to your colleague, looking back at the screen, and then it's locked. Yeah, I guess we should just continue reading. Let's focus on each of those and define what policies we should enable in each GPO and where they would be linked. So we should create one. I'm thinking, will they say like what they're thinking? Or should we create our own just? Yeah, they have stuff here. Oh, it's just right here. We want to restrict access to the control panel across all machines to only the users that are part of the IT department. Users of other departments shouldn't be able to change the system's preferences. These are not very logical or functional, but let's do it. So, oh, I know it just hopped away there with the... Can I minimize this line on the side too? Oh, whatever. We could full screen it. Let's try this. Isn't this full screen? And then we have a line here. Okay. Or the P in a VM. It's like levels and levels of things, and we have the everywhere stuff. So let's pull this line a bit so we can read the text. We're supposed to create a GPU called restrict control panel access and open it for editing. So let's go to the group policies. Were they just closed? No, we're still in it. The other one. I'm like, what? What's up? So let's create one here. New window from here. New. And they wanted us to call it restrict. Looking at time. Yeah, I'll type this and I'll check on my kid. Restrict control panel access. There. I'll just check on my kid, see if I can look him up. we'll see. He's so formal. Ska vi se. Cause it's no reason for him to get guests home, you know, if he's just going to sleep. So let's see. Since we want this GPU to apply to specific users, we will look under user configuration for the topic. So let's edit this one then, and let's look under user. Let's see what they want us to change. Oh, boring to just look at that, right? Notice that we have enabled the prohibit access to control panel and PC settings. Okay, so let's go to the same place, hours, so administrative templates, control panel, and prohibit. So we're supposed to enable this one there. Oh my, and the OK is down here. Maybe I did put this a bit tiny. So this is now enabled. Once the GPU is configured, we will need to link it to all of the OUs corresponding to users who shouldn't have access to the control panel of their PCs. In this case, we will link the marketing, management, and sales OUs by dragging the GPU to each of them. Okay. I still can't avoid feeling that shouldn't this be like everything and then we make an exception for the IT instead. But maybe this is good. So if we look at this now on the settings, it should have its setting here. No, not yet. I'm not on the right one. I like, what? This is not right. It wasn't right. So here it is. So let's drag this then in. You can see the right screen. Let's drag this to management. There. Do you want to link this? Yes. Then we drag it to marketing. And yes. And then we drag it to sales. And okay. Oh, we should have removed this one. So let's do that. Let's. Yeah. Okay. Right. So we need to. Oh, sorry. We need to go to properties. This is security. No, it's not. There, object. Okay. Delete. So that's gone. So this is not updated, but it's not there anymore. There, now it's gone. So we have dragged this to these, and IT doesn't have it. Auto lock screen GPU. For the first GPU regarding screen locking for workstation and servers, we could apply it over the workstation, servers, and domain controllers OUs we created previously. While the solution should work, an alternative consists of simply applying the GPU to the root domain, as we want the GPU to affect all of our computers. Since the workstation, servers, and domain controllers OUs are all child OUs of the domain root domain, they will inherit its policies. Note: if you might notice that if our GPU is applied to the root domain, it will also be inherited by other OUs like sales or marketing. Since these OUs contain users only, any computer configuration in our GPU will be ignored by them. Let's create a new GPU, call it auto log screen, and edit it. The policy to achieve what we want is located in the following root. So let's do that then. And we have the, let's copy the name. Be as lazy as you can. That's just being efficient. It's not laziness, right? So you're on the right screen. Let's make a new one. And let's call it this, auto lock screen. And in auto lock screen, we want to edit it, and we want to use user, and it's in policies, Windows settings, and they're saving us from Googling because we can't look through all of these, right? But I remember looking through all of them and like, what's reasonable? Local policies, security settings, account, no, Windows settings, security settings, local policies. Am I blind? So let's click security settings. These are not all the ones. Did I click the wrong one? No. So no. I'm supposed to go to computers, of course.
Kitty says.
Don't you just hate it when your cat wakes you up in the morning like meow? Meow. 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 Meow.
Should we try the poof
Meow.
one?
Meow.
Poof? I don't think it
Meow.
works, right?
Meow. Meow.
Nori!
Meow.
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 Welcome in. Welcome
Meow.
back.
Meow. Meow.
No long messages,
Meow.
okay?
Meow. Noiki
Oh.
one Pinkie Pie.
Yeah. So let's see, where have I got the TTS? Yeah, voice recognition is on, but I don't think I enabled poof. Yeah, I did. It just doesn't sense when I'm talking at all. It would be fun to try it with Node Red now, but we're studying. So, how's your day, Nori? Are you good? Done anything special? Something fun? This was a big...
I'm good, thank you. Just working on more avatar stuff. Noiki one cry.
So good food. Oh gosh. I'm just checking on my kid again. Unfortunately, I can't wake him up, meaning that he can't have a guest over. I'll have to tell him.
Extra nuts. Noiki one sleep.
Yeah, but he's not sleeping at the night. He's trouble sleeping at all. So, because it's sad if his friend or the person that's coming to play with him gets here, and then he he just goes home again. Maybe I should do things like these offline, because I would do them much quicker then, I think. And then we should do boxes online. Maybe that's better, because that I would need. We could help each other. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Well, I want to finish this one though. We'll see after this. Broccoli. Just checking the messages quickly. Well, let's continue. Oh, 1:44 already. So I've been eating for 1:44. So let's put my food away here a bit. So, by the way, I ate some candy left from Easter. I've eaten it a few times. I usually don't eat candy. And yet today, when I was at work, I got like, oh, I would like some candy. So, eat it all or throw it away or never eat candy again, you know. I'll go back to not eating candy.
Candy is bad for you.
Yeah. And your brain gets used to it. Oh, right. We've spent lots of time on this already, so. Let's continue. I'm just trying to remember what I was doing. Alright, I was messing up. Looking at user when I should look at computer. Security... No, Windows settings. It's kind of funny when it's the same thing, you know? So you always can realize what it was. Local policies. Security options. And then we have interactive logon. Machine inactivity time limit. And this is a low limit. $300. Let's get rid of that thing anyway. I guess I just did it because I was wanted it before, you know. But why? So I'm just eating some of the chocolate. So, no distractions. We did set this. We will set the inactivity limit to 5 minutes so that computers get locked automatically if any user leaves their session open. After closing the GPO editor, we will link the GPO to the root domain by dragging the GPO to it. So let's do that then. So close it, and alright, it's at the top. So this is the root domain. So let's drag it up there. There. Once the GPUs have been applied to the correct OUs, we can log in as any users in either marketing, sales, or management for verification. For this task, let's connect via RDP using Mark's credentials. So let's do that. If you try opening the control panel, we should get a message indicating this operation is denied by the administrator. You can also wait 5 minutes to check if the screen is automatically locked if you want. Yeah, since we didn't apply the control panel GPU to IT, you should still be able to log in to the machine as any of those users and access the control panel. Note, if you created and linked the GPUs, but for some reason they still don't work, remember you can run GPU update force to force GPUs to be updated. What is the name of the network share that's used to distribute GPUs to domain machines? And let's double click it. Where I'm sure it's in here. No, it's before. Maybe I should type it, you know. Can a GPU be used to apply settings to users and computer? Yay. So let's log in. So, no. My
Generalissimo for 69 says.
No retreat, no surrender.
No retreat, no surrender.
It's a movie though.
Yeah, it's a movie. I was thinking, I just sent a message to her, but I was thinking like,
About a kid who's talking to the ghost of Bruce Lee.
yeah.
D.
So how old are you? Are you
Then
my
he fights
age?
Van Damme.
Yeah. Anyway.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it's also like at the start I think he has asthma and he can't run, and then he trains these crazy sit-ups. Yeah, maybe I should have that as my move it thing instead. When he makes the sit-up crazy.
Do it.
Do you know what I mean? He like bounces on the wood with his body up like this, and then he goes down and bounces up. Crazy. From hardly being able to walk without getting out of breath, you know. It's a movie. Yeah. So, we'll almost have to open it in YouTube now, right? We do. So let's. And since I'm lazy and copy pasting stuff, then I have to scroll up to your comment and paste it. Yeah. I guess the whole film should be here, right? Full movie. Yeah. So, alright, his dad. Let's see, where is the sit-up thingies? No, isn't it the sit-up thingies in this one? Or whatever, it's... I might be mixing several old fight thingies.
About 3 years. Oh, then you must be pretty good, huh? I've got some friends who've been doing it for about 2 years, and one's even a second-degree black belt. I'm not a black belt yet. What are you in, a special slow learners program or what?
Well, this is kinda loud, right? Oh. Poor him. And then...
I was so stoned when I rewatched this yesterday. It was great.
Okay, but how are we gonna get it there? Don't worry. RJ will provide.
Yeah, here's the ghost. Is the glass half full? Yeah.
This cup, as you, represents your knowledge. This cup is what I offer. The cup of my knowledge is more than your cup holds.
Slowly to go.
Then,
Oh well. That's nostalgic. How old is this really? 85. Oh my goodness. So I was 10. Oh. Let's see. I think there's another movie that I connected it to too. Some kind
It's
of
the
other
first
old
movie
things.
Van Damme ever was in. D.
Oh, it is. And he was like the bad guy. I didn't know that. And it was very old too, yeah. So I don't think those were like on Swedish TV, or that maybe we watched them later. We went to the video store and rented videos. Oh my god!
My father was one
You
of
couldn't
those
see
guys
it,
in the
right?
collapsing Soviet Union who was importing videotapes from abroad.
Oh.
Good money. And a lot of movies I've watched. Smile, smile.
Okay, cool. I had the video up. Didn't you see anything? Didn't I switch screen, right? Yeah, I was just clicking on different places here.
That's not important.
This.
Well, here he's training. Oh yes, it's probably like somewhere here where the thing.
Do it.
Okay, we'll speed him.
80s montages are the best motivation for training.
Yeah. We'll see if I can find some fun clip from that. Let's RDP with this one now. Right, that's what I was doing. I was trying to get this thing up without getting the VMware one up. So, we want to not have full screen there. And let's... I'm not sure I like this, but
there was one Swedish guy
good.
who was the bad guy in Rocky IV. Dolph
Yeah.
Lundgren.
Yeah, Swedish.
Now in that movie the training montages are great, D.
Okay. I haven't really seen the Rocky movies. I think I've been like had to see them from my hubby when he a long time ago, you know. I was like, what? Rocky? You have to see Rocky. Let's see. I liked more like Jackie Chan and, you know, I like comedies a lot. So, but of course I look at those. If it's like martial arts in it, I want to see it too. But I get training inspired more.
I've seen everything Jackie Chan was in.
Yeah.
It's about 200 movies. Not
You've seen
kidding.
everything? Yeah. I don't think it's finished yet. Though I don't think we'll see the worst stunts
D.
anymore.
A living legend.
Yeah, and Jet Li too. But he got some disease, so he can't do it anymore. Yeah, I think it was, what do we call these? This gland.
Jet Li is a sad story. Frown, frown.
Yeah, but I think he's okay like that. It's just like he couldn't train much anymore. So, and that's always annoying for a person not to be able to do what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I have to turn the screen off my phone because it keeps popping up notifications. Yeah, I was thinking like, why would I wanna do that? I don't see why I would want to, if I can just type instead. But if it's quick, you know. But if you want to do the zoomy thing, I think, could you do zoomy things with this? Maybe you could set like options for resolution and things. Let's at least connect to this quick one. It's Mark. So Mark, and then we have M4RK3T1NG.21 marketing. So Now we're going to test. Though if we do something else crazy, we can see a timeout for 5 minutes too. We should have logged in first before watching the movie. Yeah, control panel. At least it will have had time. So if we go here now, we can't open the settings. I can't imagine how annoyed people would be, you know? So if I have typed. So if we click control panel this way, then we get a message, but we didn't get it when we tried the settings. This operation has been cancelled due to restrictions in effect on this computer. Please contact your system administrator. So this is nice, we got a message, but this is kinda random. Oh, sorry. My nose itches. I just clean everything out there. Alright, we have chewing gum. Sugar free. When connecting RDP, control panel, yeah. Since we didn't do control panel, IT should still be able to log into machine as any of those users. And then we used one of them before, so we could log in if we wanted to. So, authentication methods. When using Windows domains, all credentials are stored in the domain controller. Whenever a user tries to authenticate to a service using domain credentials, the service will need to ask the domain controllers to verify if they are correct. Two protocols can be used for network authentication in Windows domains. Kerberos, used by any recent versions of Windows. This is the default protocol in any recent domain. NetNTLM, legacy authentication protocol kept for compatibility purposes. And someone said they would remove it, right? Well, NetNTLM should be considered obsolete. Most networks will have both protocols enabled. Let's take a deeper look at how each of these protocols works. Kerberos authentication is the default authentication protocol for any recent version of Windows. Did they have to repeat the same sentence? Users who log into the service using Kerberos will be assigned tickets. Think of tickets as a proof of a previous authentication. Users with tickets can present them to a service to demonstrate they have already authenticated into the network before and are therefore enabled to use it. When Kerberos is used for authentication, the following process happens. I'm thinking we should make notes on this, because this is new to me, the details of this. Nice. Now we know why we should never skip anything. If I'd skipped this, I wouldn't have seen this. So I'm not going to touch that one. We can see a timeout, right? It's still up on the screen here. The user. So 80. Let's now do authentication, or let's do Kerberos. Or should we do authentication? Maybe 80. Authentication. My god, that's wrong. I guess I've got a cold. Or allergies, whatever it is. I don't think I've eaten any allergy medicine like for a day. Maybe I should. So, 2 protocols. Now we got the timeout. We're logged out. Let's just close it. So, whatever, skip this too. Well, anti-alarm should be considered obsolete. Yeah. Should be obsolete. Yeah, should be comments. So, Kerberos. No. There. Now we should be rid of that. Let's do 3. The folder. I'm just doing this, and then I'm going to change it. Will be assigned tickets. Proof of when Kerberos is used for authentication, the following happens. The user sent their username and stamp, yeah. So, there are cute images here too. I'm thinking maybe I should just copy all of this, and we can edit it and read it in there. So, yeah, it popped the images in here too. We got an images folder. It's just 2 images? No, it didn't pop them in here. They're not here. That's links. That's so annoying when it does that. So, if we want the images, we'll have to copy them. I reacted to it just being 2 images, you know? Otherwise I might have missed this. Oh, in 3.5. So the user sent their username and timestamp, encrypted using a key derived from their password to the key distribution sender. KDC, a service usually installed on the domain controller, in charge of creating Kerberos tickets on the network. And then we have let's do 1 instead. But I don't want it to be a list. This is so annoying. So I can't do that. I have to do like step 1. And then I could do this if I wanted to. And this is just because it's a new line and then a tab. So where were I? The main controllers. Yeah, that's good. The KDC will create and send back TGT ticket granting ticket, which will allow the user to request additional ticket to the specific services. To access specific services. The need for a ticket to get more tickets is a bit sounds a bit weird, but it allows users to request service tickets without passing their credentials every time. They have to pass a TGT instead. Every time they want to connect to a service. Along with the TGT, a session key is given to the user, which they will need to generate the following request. Notice the TGT is encrypted using the Kirby TGT account password hash, and therefore the user can't access its content. It is essential to know that the encrypted TGT includes a copy of the session key as part of its contents, and the KDC has no need to store the session key, as it can recover a copy by decrypting the TGT if needed. Now let's do, what did I do on this one? 3. So let's do 2 here and do 3 or 4 here. 4. So step 2. And I will keep for now all the text, because I think it wasn't too much extra. It's usually too much extra stuff. When a user wants to connect to a service on a network, like a share, website or database, they will use their TGT to ask the KDC for a ticket granting ticket granting service TDS. Tickets are ticket TDS. Oh my god. Let's restart here. They will use their TDT to ask the KDC for a TGS. Ticket granting service. Ticket granting service are tickets that allow connection only to the specific service they are created for. So that's a ticket that's called a TGS, ticket granting service. That's very odd. To request a TGS, the user will send their username and a timestamp, encrypted using the session key along with the TDT and a service principal name. SPN, which indicates, my god, why have they put that inside there? Which indicates the service and server name intended to access. As a result, the KDC will send us a TDS. So, I was so stuck on the names being funny, I don't think I even listened to myself reading. So I'll just quickly... There was actually no action here. They will use a TDT, so you will send a TDT to the KDC because it wants a TDS. No, to request a TDS, the user will send their username and a timestamp, encrypted using the session key and the TDT. Okay. As a result, the KDC will send us a TDS along with a service session key, which we will need to authenticate to the service we want to access. The TDS is encrypted using a key derived from the service owner hash. Okay. The service owner is a user or machine account that the service runs under. The TDS contains a copy of the service session's key. I'm just amazed at the number of acronyms, right? So, they didn't... I can see they were thinking like, should we say this is an acronym too? Nah. Or something. Maybe there isn't one, but the service owner is the user of the machine. The TDS contains a copy of the service session key on its encrypted contents, so that the service owner can access it by decrypting the TDS. Okay. So let's look at the images too. Fly sends username and timestamp. KDC sends okay, so I guess this is the session key. Yeah. So there's a session key. Why didn't it say session key here? The session key is given to the user, which is need to generate. Notice the TGT is encrypted using the KRB TGT accounts password hash. So the user can't access the contents. I'm just remembering things that I've seen on streams, mostly Al Hasred streams. Cause, you know, he says you should always do this account and talks about the tickets and buying tickets for a concert and things. So can we save more space here? Nah, it's okay. So when a user wants to connect to a service on the network, now we need this image then. So with the client we have these two. So we send these, we encrypt these with that and send this, and this is what we want to do. And then a part of it is encrypted with this one's key. I won't read it loud again. We could TTS it if you want to, cause I'm thinking I'm lazy.
When a user wants to connect to a service on the network like a share, website, or database, they will use their TGT to ask the KDC for a ticket granting service, TGS. TGS are tickets that allow connection only to the specific service they were created for. To request a TGS, the user will send their username and a timestamp encrypted using the session key, along with the TGT and a service principal name, SPN, which indicates the service and server name we intend to access. As a result, the KDC will send us a TGS along with a service session key, which we will need to authenticate to the service we want to access. The TGS is encrypted using a key derived from the service owner hash. The service owner is the user or machine account that the service runs under. The TGS contains a copy of the service session key on its encrypted contents so that the service owner can access it by decrypting the TGS.
Yeah, so it's just supposed to be very secure, so that's why they make such a mess of it, right? So now we have step 3.
Very secure, smile, smile.
Yeah, right, it's not. But I said supposed to be. I said supposed to be. I think I did 4, right? Not that I care very much. So, the TGS can then be sent to the desired service to authenticate and establish a connection. The service will use its configured account's password hash to decrypt the TDS, which I want to be called a T in the end because it's apparently a ticket, right? And validate the service session key. So let's look at the image. It has these and send them, and then nothing more happens. Let's look at the actual page. Maybe there were more. No, that's all of it. So lots of text. Nothing like, and then they are authenticated. End of story. So let's go, and I use double right, so we get some kind of structure here. So net NTLM. Sorry if I'm like sitting like this. It's Friday afternoon. It's Friday afternoon, and I've been streaming every day this week. Can you see how many hours you streamed for the week? I wonder. It must have been like lots of hours. 2 days when it was, I think it was 12 hours and 10 hours, right? 10:40. Maybe it wasn't both in this week. Maybe the 12-hour one was last week. Yeah, I think so. I think it was Friday last week, maybe. Whatever. I don't remember. I'm starting to feel I should spend some of the time I have on actually like doing my laundry. I do the kids' laundry, but mine too should be done right. And some other stuff. Oh my. Maybe I should eat some more. Maybe I have to eat so I'll just faint from too much food. We'll see. Funny shapes of the chicken. This was like a ball thing. And this is just like big. Just making sure I still had this one here. It was underneath everything. Net NTLM. Alright, let's add an hour there too. Net NTLM works using the challenge response mechanism. The entire process is as follows. Big image. There's an explanation. It would have been kind of funny if it was just the image. But it wouldn't have been very clear. So let's put the image below instead. Will a current version of Windows use Net NTLM as a preferred authentication by default? Yay. When referring to Kerberos, what type of ticket allows us to request further tickets known as TGS? Ticket, granting ticket. And then the last question, we don't know yet because we haven't read it. So let's read it. The client sends an authentication request to the server they want to access. So here, 1. It sends an authentication request to the server. It has nothing to do with the domain controller there. The server generates a random number and sends it as a challenge to the client. Okay, a challenge. Okay, the client combines their NTLM password hash with the challenge. And other known data to generate a response to the challenge and send it back to the server for verification. So, NTLM plus challenge. So it doesn't mention this before. So we lack the start of this. So this is a response. And then number 4. The server forwards the challenge and the response to the domain controller for verification. Okay, here it sends these. The domain controller uses the challenge to recalculate the response and compares it to the original response sent by the client. There is no original response, because this is not in here, right? This is the only response the client has sent. It has not sent any response previously. This is a bad explanation. We'll have to Google it. If they both match, the client is authenticated, otherwise access is denied. The authentication result is sent back to the server. The server forwards the authentication result to the client. So, compares it to something that we have never seen. This was a random challenge, a random number that is combined with the NTLM hash, and then this response is sent, and it's sent on to the domain controller. So anyone knows how this works? Because this explanation didn't say how it works. It's not complete. This is the first response the client sends. It does nothing to compare it to, as long as this would have been complete. If they both match, the client is authenticated, otherwise it's denied. The authentication result is sent back to the server. The server forwards the authentication result to the client. Note that the user's password or hash is never transmitted through the network for security. Note the described process applies to when using a domain account. If a local account is used, the server can verify the response to the challenge itself without requiring interaction with the domain controller, since it has the password hash stored locally on its and we know that something is stored here on the domain controller, and we just don't know in this text what it is, because it doesn't say. Maybe we'll get more information. It's a password transmitter. Nay. I guess this is like introduction. So I'm going to type this as the reference for this, mostly because it's bad. Because alright, that's a file name, that's why I can't type there. So the first, the Kerberos one was kinda clear and good, and this is not complete. Not complete. What original response? My god, I'm so good at spelling. There. So let's go to the next one. I wonder if we need our server, not anything else. I don't think so, right? So we could probably close it down. I'm just going to. Oops. Oh, can't it stop doing that? Right. Come on, little mute icon. Where are you?
Yeah, they dropped it.
And everybody knows what I did. I looked at how to check on what Gar's doing. They're doing some. Oh. I think I know what he's doing, but I'll have to look later. I want to study a bit more. Or should I take a short stream for this day? Well, it's 2:40 already. Let's finish this one. So far, we have discussed how to manage a single domain, the role of a domain, and how to join computer servers and users. As companies grow, so do their networks. Having a single domain for a company is good enough to start, but in time, some additional needs might push you to having more than one. Trees. Imagine, for example, that a new company expands to a new country. The new country has different laws and regulations that require you to upgrade your GPOs to comply. In addition, you have IT people in both countries, and each IT team needs to manage the resources that correspond to each country without interfering with other team. While you would correct a complex UI structure and use delegation to achieve this, having a huge AD structure might be hard to manage and prone to human errors. Luckily for us, Active Directory supports integrating multiple domains so that you can have partition your network into units that can be managed independently. If you have two domains that share the same name, tsm.local for example, those domains can be joined into a tree. If tsm.local domain was split into two subdomains for US and US branches, you could build a tree with a root domain of tsm.local and two subdomains called UK tsm.local and US tsm.local. This partition structure gives us better control over who can access what in the domain. If ID people from the UK will have their own DC that manages the UK resources only. For example, the UK could not be able to manage US, would not be able to manage US servers. In that way, the domain administrators of each branch will have complete control over their respective DCs, but not each other's branches' DCs. Policies can also be configured independently for each domain in the tree. A new security group needs to be introduced when talking about trees and forests. The Enterprise Admin Group will grant a user administrative privileges over all of an enterprise's domains. Each domain will still have its domain admins and administrative privileges over the single domains and enterprise admins who can control everything in the enterprise. Forests. The domains you manage can also be configured in different namespaces. And now I'm thinking maybe I should type like enterprise administrator in the CV for the jobs, you know. Maybe people understand that then. Oh, I need to adjust it and also have an English version. So, for domains you manage can also be configured in different names. Suppose your company configures grow and eventually acquires another company called MHT. When both companies merge, you will probably have different domain trees for each company and managed by its own IT department. The union of several trees with different namespaces into the same network is known as a forest. So we have several domains. Trust or relationships. Having multiple domains organized in trees and forests allows us to have a nice compartmentalized network in terms of management and resources. But at a certain point, the user at TSM UK might need to access a share file in one of MHT Asia's server. For this to happen, domains arranged in trees and forests are joined together by trust relationships. In other terms, having the trust relationship between domains allows you to authorize a user from domain TSM UK to access resources from domain MHT EU. The simplest trust relationship can be established is a one-way trust relationship. In one-way trust, if domain AAA trusts domain BBB, it means that user on BBB can be authorized to access resources on AAA. The direction of the one-way trust relationship is contrary to that of the access direction. Two-way trust relationships can also be made to allow both domains to mutually authorize users from each other. By default, joining several domains under a tree or a forest will form a two-way trust relationship. It is important to note that having a trust relationship between domains doesn't automatically grant access to all resources on the other domain. Once a trust relationship is established, you have the chance to authorize users across different domains, but it's up to you what is actually authorized or not. What is a group of Windows domains that share the same namespace called? And that is the tree. What should be configured between two domains for a user in domain to access a resource in domain B? A trust relationship. And hope I spelled it right. So, conclusion. In this room, we have shown the basic components and concepts related to Active Directory and Windows domain.
Translated from Hebrew.
GG.
Translated from Latvian.
Keep in mind that I'm thinking now what to do, but let me read this first. Keep in mind that this room should only serve interaction to basic concepts, and there's quite a bit more to explore. Yeah, because I lacked information there. Production ready. If you're interested in learning more, Active Directory hardening room to be released soon. On the other hand, if you'd like to know how attackers can take advantage of common AD misconfiguration and other AD hacking techniques, look at this one. Yeah, we will do that. Click and continue learning. And now I know that the room